In continuation with chapter number 5, that is magnetism and matter, now let's study another topic, that is potential energy of a magnetic dipole in magnetic field. We have studied that when we will place a magnetic dipole, that is in the form of magnetic compass needle, in uniform magnetic field. Suppose a magnetic needle is placed at an angle theta with magnetic field, that is we are applying some force and place this magnetic needle at an angle theta, and when we will release the force, then this magnetic needle will experience a restoring torque which is equal to magnetic dipole moment into magnetic field sine theta. And the periodic time of angular SHM performed by magnetic dipole around its stable equilibrium position is the time period we have already calculated, that it is equal to 2 pi root moment of inertia of a dipole by magnetic dipole moment into magnetic field. By this we can find the value of magnetic field, which is equal to 4 pi square I upon mt square. Now if we will rotate this magnetic needle by an small angle d theta, then the small work done is given as this angle is so small that there will be no change in torque. That is, a constant torque is experienced, restoring torque is experienced by a magnetic needle. It is equal to and total work done in rotating a dipole from one angular position to another position integration over dw, and it implies that mb sine theta d theta over the limits theta 1 and theta 2. Here m and b are constants, therefore on integrating it we get sine theta is minus cos theta or it is equal to mb, and this work done is equal to mb integration of sine theta is minus cos theta, theta 1 to theta 2, and it is equal to mb minus cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1 can also be written as mb minus cos theta 1 plus cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, and this work done is stored in the form of potential energy in dipole, and when it is displaced from one position to another, then its potential energy will convert into kinetic energy. And kinetic energy will increase. Now, as this work done is in the form of potential energy, it is equal to mb cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. If the initial position of a magnetic dipole is 90 degree, that is, if theta 1 is 90 degree and at that time theta 2 is at some position, that is theta. When theta 1 is 90 and the final position is theta, then potential energy is equal to cos 90 is 0 minus cos theta, that is equal to minus mb cos theta. Now case first, if magnetic dipole moment and magnetic field are opposite to each other, that is anti-parallel placed, that is, this is magnetic dipole moment and this is the direction of magnetic field. Angle is 180 degree. Therefore, cos 180 is minus 1. Therefore, U equivalent to MB. And this is the maximum potential energy and the condition of unstable equilibrium. And the second case is if magnetic dipole moment and magnetic field are parallel to each other. That is theta equal to 0 degree. Therefore, stored potential energy is equal to minus mb cos 0 degree, which is 1, this is the condition of stable equilibrium. And potential energy is minimum. Now next topic is magnetic flux. It is denoted by phi b. In electrostatics, we have studied about electric flux, that is the number of electric field lines passing through a given area. Similarly, magnetic flux is defined as the number of magnetic field lines passing through a area. A given surface, and magnetic flux is a scalar quantity as it is the dot product of two vector quantities, that is B and A. Flux is equal to B vector dot A vector. It is, therefore, it's a scalar quantity. Now, we have studied about area vector, that the direction of area vector is normal to the surface given, that is in this way, in upward or in downward. Now, let it denoted by this n cap. And if this area is made up of a small number of area elements, then let us suppose this is a small area element ds, and this area is in a magnetic field, number of magnetic field lines. Therefore, the number of magnetic field lines passing through this given area is magnetic flux. So, the magnetic flux linked with a small element, area element, is d phi b equal to magnetic field into small area element, and the total magnetic flux due to small total number of elements is equal to total magnetic flux, and it is equal to let us suppose this is total surface S through surface S is it is equal to phi b. Here it is also magnetic flux, and it is the summation over S b vector dot ds vector. But if the number of area elements are very small and very large in numbers, then instead of using this summation sign, we use integration. That is, if elements are very small and large in number, then magnetic flux is noted by closed integral over a surface, and it is equal to b vector dot ds vector. Now, SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. And 1 Weber is equal to 1 Tesla into meter square. One Tesla into meter square. And what are the dimensions of magnetic flux? Let's find. As magnetic flux is given as magnetic field into area. Therefore, magnetic field is given as F equivalent to, by Lorentz force, we can find magnetic field, that is B equivalent to F by QV. And therefore, F, dimension of F is m1 L1 t minus 2. Charge is given as ampere into time. And velocity is Lt minus 1 into, this is area, which is L square. It is equal to L, and this L is cancel out. T and T minus 1 will cancel out, and we are remain with M1, L2, A minus 1, T minus 2. This is the dimension of magnetic flux. Now the next topic is Gauss law in magnetism. We have studied Gauss law in electrostatics also. In electrostatics, it is equal to the number of electric field lines passing through a given area, that is, through a given closed surface, is equal to 1 upon epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed within that closed surface. That is, here an isolated electric charge exists. Electric charge exists, but in magnetism, magnetic flux, net magnetic flux in a closed surface is given as B vector dot ds vector equal to 0. That is, no monopoles exist. This we can understand in this manner. That if there is a bar magnet and this is its south pole and this is north pole, and if we consider a Gaussian surface at one end, then the number of magnetic field lines are entering into it is equal to number of magnetic field lines leaving it. Thus, the net magnetic flux is 0. This is north and this is the Gaussian surface. Thus, no monopole or we can say that the total number of magnetic field lines entering the surface is equal to number of magnetic field lines leaving the surface.